it's Kristen from the Old Millennial here again to answer your questions. Today's letter is from Grace in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's dig in. Dear Kristen, I'm single and 36. I've spent a lot of time over the last few years working on personal growth and starting a new career path. The problem is I'm starting to think about dating, but I'm not meeting anyone. And I'm apprehensive about online dating. I haven't been on a date in 4 years. Help! Ooh, it's a long time. I agree, it's totally daunting. The whole dating thing, it's traumatizing. There is good news. There is hope to be found on these dating websites. I am personally proof. My husband and I met on a dating website, and we are going to be celebrating our 10th anniversary this August. So there is hope to be found. There are lovely people on there. You don't have to be afraid. All you have to do is just take baby steps, be patient with yourself, and explore these sites. There are lots to choose from, so you want to find one that really fits your personality. And then once you go on there, a lot of time they'll let you peruse through the people on there without even signing up for a membership. Once you start getting more comfortable with who's on there, then you could start making a profile and just, go easy on yourself. It's okay. Just take it day by day. I would recommend having a close friend that you can do this with, that can kind of help you and nudge you through it a little bit. Sometimes that's what we need, is someone holding our hands through these things. They're kind of uncomfortable, and it's not really a natural thing to kind of put an ad for yourself, essentially. It's one of those once in a lifetime types of situations where you're basically selling you're advertising yourself, so it's unusual, it's uncomfortable. So don't be afraid. Everyone else on there is in the same boat. They all just want to meet people, but it takes some guts to put yourself out there. The other thing I would say is just be cautious. Take the proper precaution. You want to make sure that you're talking to the person a lot on chat before you commit to seeing them, because you can tell pretty quickly, I think, over chat whether someone is going to be even close to a good fit or not. And then if they seem nice and reasonable, then meet in a public place. And then at that point you can exchange information, because you don't even have to give them your phone number a lot of the times on these. You can almost be anonymous. You could even use a fake name. But these sites usually have a chat function, so you don't even have to give your personal information. Just take it step by step, day by day. And I think the more that you're on there, the more you date, I think the more at ease you'll be and the more comfortable you'll be. And you'll find that there are really some wonderful people to be found. There are lots of duds. There's duds everywhere, but there's also great people. And your person is on there somewhere. So just take the leap of faith and give it a try. I think you'll do great. My next letter is from Sherry in Richmond, Virginia. Dear Kristen, every time I go on social media, all I see are people with lives better than my own. I have a decent job, but I'm still paying off debt and don't have money for elaborate vacations that my peers seemingly can afford. I'm not sure I can even fly home to visit my family this holiday season. I don't want to put myself deeper in the hole. How do I manage my FOMO? And for those who don't know what FOMO is, which I doubt there are many of you, FOMO is fear of missing out. Which, Sherry, I have a love and hate relationship with social media, which is probably pretty ironic because I'm on here, but I deactivated my Facebook account several years ago at this point for similar reasons, to be honest. It's hard to look at how people paint themselves all the time and not feel like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not able to afford these things? Or maybe I should be running around and doing this and doing that every weekend. So I went off, and one of the lovely things that came from that was I started having more authentic conversations with people, which was surprising. For example, I would talk to an old friend and be catching up with them, and I would find out they were engaged or pregnant or something exciting would have happened, and I wouldn't already know this from social media. So that's kind of a fun thing that social media is sort of taken away from us, is that we know everybody's business, so there's no reason to call someone just to catch up. And where they say that the millennials are just super lonely. And I think that that's partly because of social media. We're connected and we're liking and we're commenting and all that, but we're not sitting down and having face-to-face conversations or even phone conversations. Everything's over text, and it just takes something away from relationships. So I think that has a lot to do with why we're so lonely all the time. So anyway, that's what my 2 cents about social media. But the other thing I would notice about your letter is about your indebtedness and not wanting to go deeper in the hole. And I really applaud you for that, because that is not something that's all that valued in this day and age, part of the whole, FOMO thing. But I was looking at an article from CNBC, and they talked about how travelers this holiday season are 71% of them will be putting their expenses on a credit card. And they're going to take 2.5 months to pay off those balances on average, which, that means that they don't have enough saved to pay that balance off in full, and they're paying interest on that. It also went on to say that 1 in 12 of these people are still in debt from last year. So that just shows that, a lot of these people who are on vacations or spending can't necessarily afford the trips they're taking. It's very easy to borrow money. And, just in my search, there are so many agencies that are offering vacation loans now, which is just appalling in my opinion. But that's what we're dealing with. People are not saving up. They're just borrowing. So I really applaud you for dealing with your debt and making sacrifices. I think millennials are starting to really embrace the staycations, or I guess micro vacations I've been hearing about, just trying to really rein in the debt that student loans, so many people have so many student loans, for example. So anyway, I would just give social media a little break if it's really bumming you out, and just applaud yourself for digging out of debt and not being just the average person who just piles more onto the debt. So anyway, I hope that helps. I applaud you. You have my support. Go, Sherry. Anyway, so if you like my advice, please like my channel or subscribe. And if you have questions you want me to address, I'd love to answer them on my show. So please email me at oldmillennialadvice@gmail.com. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.